go ahead and get started. All right, meeting's in order. If you could please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, awesome. Good evening, everybody. I appreciate you coming to our monthly council meeting. Some of the announcements that I want to make for you guys, and everybody was aware, this past weekend we conducted our Easter celebration. And I just want to thank each and everybody for all the volunteer work that we did. I thought it was a fabulous event. It was the first time, and help me on this, I know it's been at least 10 years, if not more, because I've been on the council for 6, and after talking to several folks, it's been at least 10 years to have it back in the park. 2013. Okay, and so last year we reestablished this, and it rained, and we did it in the brewery under the pavilion, and it was awesome then. I mean, we had a pretty amazing turnout for that. So a lot of lessons learned for what we did in the park, so we've got some great ideas for next year, and I do appreciate all the comments that we had on social media and the text and everything that we had. So what I say to everybody here who's involved or wants to be involved, please let us know any comments or anything that we can do to improve it, because I feel like we're going to have more participation than what we did last year. And my calculations is at least we had close to 200 folks there. So in order for it to grow, we're going to have more of a strategic plan on how we can incorporate things and how we can make sure that it's safe and that it's fun for everybody. Keep in mind, these type of events for this size, this event and the participation is larger than the citizens in this community, right? So that's awesome, and we'll keep doing it just like we do Heritage Days every single year. But keep in mind, all the resources, if it's not volunteers, it comes directly out of the revenue for our town. And we do this because we want to promote our tourism. We want to get people into our businesses. If you weren't aware, all the businesses that were open at that time, normal hours, they were open for that Easter event. So that's why it was recommended to have the food vendors. We had 3 food vendors. The brewery was open at that time. So we're trying to engage people into our town to be a part of a special event. And then when that special event's over with, then they're going to be involved in shopping in our businesses, hanging out at the brewery, spending money. That's what we're looking for in our town. Right? Awesome. But again, I do really appreciate all the volunteers, and we had some volunteers at the last minute, and I can't thank enough. Some of the spotlights is Jason Little, just came on the council last month, already helping and supporting the town and getting involved. His entire family was involved, so I really appreciate that. Some of our business owners, Tom, Mary, several people were involved in that, Linda, my wife Jeannie, so I really appreciate all the efforts. I think it was super awesome, I was super excited, and I can't wait till next year. Cool. With that said, we've got a couple other things coming up. We have the Chalk and Rock and the Bronco Stampede. Jeannie, would you like to say a few words about that? Yeah, just tell them when those dates are. Yeah, you're good. Yep.
So we are looking at Chalking Rock for an April 21st event date, and it will be here in the town. The Bronco Stampede is targeted for the first weekend in June, and we are excited about that as well. And so lots of planning, so anybody that does want to help, please reach out to us. All the details that we have right now are on our social media pages, and that's where we will continue to make those updates.
Awesome. So if there's several ways to get involved, you can get onto our social media, and that would link up with the people that are volunteering, my wife Jeannie and others. And also you can send emails to the mayor email and the town clerk as well. So if you want to get involved in those or you want to know more about it, please just let us know. Okay. All right. Last for announcements. Based on some unfortunate events, Christy has resigned as our town clerk, and this will be her last town clerk meeting. We're going to have her till next Friday the 14th, so I'm immediately turning around and we are going to start the interview process again as we did previous. So on Monday we'll have it in the paper, we'll have it in our social media as soon as possible, but the goal is to interview for that quickly, get someone in here, transition so we can continue moving on. Okay, so if you know anybody, check your social media, please pass the word, let us know. Okay? Okay. Any questions, comments about that? Good. Okay. All right. So next on the agenda is the approval of March 2024 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to accept the March 2024 meeting minutes?
I make a motion that we approve the March 2024 meeting minutes.
All in favor?
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, God. Do I have a second? Linda, a second. All right, awesome. All in favor? That's unanimous. Yeah. Oh, forgive me for a second. Sorry, Chris. Thank you. How can I fix this? Can I fix this some way? Got it. Boom. Booyah. Okay. All right. Next on the agenda is to approve the March 2024 financials. As you can see, I always like posting what we have in our current accounts. No changes for our 5 accounts. As you can see in our operating budget, it's 351, but after all of our budget checks and balances, it's 349,000 roughly in our operating account. Schoolhouse hasn't changed, 36K. Splosh 24, FEMA 1,800, and then America Rescue Plan is 26. Christy, I didn't see this. Any reason why these are yellow?
She told me to highlight the ones that are unclear.
Ah,
That's how you
yep,
get the
yep,
three-
yep, that's right.
349,000.
Thank you. Yep. Okay, do I have a motion to accept the March 2024 financials?
Make a motion to accept March 2024 financials.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, it's unanimous. Okay. Okay. Next, summary of maintenance, Jerry.
Let's see, well, we put the bolts out and, put them oil grass. We do need to, look at the drainage system around the pavilion over there. They put black corrugated pipe all the way around that building that catches the drain, the water drainage, comes off the gutters and that little hill. And those is, they've got stopped up with the roots and stuff in them. We're gonna have to without, replacing them. And that back part is never worked as long as I can remember.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the fill lines, right?
No, it does not. No, it's just water runoff, and it's got a catch basin back there, but it's so stopped up, and I can't get it done stop. It's flooding the back little workshop there when it rains heavy. So,
Okay. All right, I'll talk to you offline on that.
Okay.
See what we can do.
okay.
All right. And then you want to talk about the mold remediation that we did in the town hall? The repairs?
Oh yeah. Up front there, we fixed that. Had a water leak up there. Got it fixed.
Okay, so as we had voted on a couple months ago, we did the repairs for replacing the roof in the town hall. We did that. And then we had voted on fixing the mold issue first, and then we determined that we needed to fix the roof first to determine if that was good to go before we did the repairs. So we did that. And they did repairs up in the front, and they did testing here. And they haven't given us the results, obviously.
So, final results, so this room was actually quarantined off. They did the ozone and everything, and they came for the final test yesterday. We'll have results by Friday. Up front, the reason that there was mold growth, and there were two separate types of mold. This was airborne, that was not, that was actually on surface. The sheetrock and the baseboards up front were covered in mold. It was because the main pipe coming into the building had a leak and had been leaking for a long time. So Jerry fixed the leak, and then they did mold remediation up there. The town clerk's office also had some ozone needing mold remediation. They did that as well.
Cool. So hopefully it's fixed. We'll find out from the test, and then we'll move from there if it needs more repairs, or hopefully it's good to go. So cool. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate it. Okay, moving into old business. I already talked about the Easter egg hunt, so we'll get right into the new business. For we're going to vote on the ARPA funding. So those 5 funding that I just showed you, the last one was the American Rescue Plan at around $26K. We have determined that we can utilize that to facilitate some of the repairs for our sewage systems, for the town hall and the park. We've got to get some more information on the town hall, but we do know that we need to repair the fill lines in the park itself. So we had an estimate. We'll have to get 2 more estimates, but the vote is to utilize our ARPA funding, which is $26,514, to go towards those repairs. I'm going to ask for a vote for that, all that fundage, because if we don't utilize that fundage in appropriate ways, we could possibly lose those funds. Make sense? Questions? Okay. So do I have a motion to use the ARPA funding to repair let me say that again. Do I have a motion to utilize the $26K of ARPA funding, the American Rescue Plan, towards repairing the septic systems in the park?
I motion to use the $26K of ARPA funding for the septic repair at the park.
Do I have a second? All in favor? It was unanimous. Jason, what was your vote? Okay, unanimous. Okay. Okay, next.
Are we gonna have to have a separate vote
Yeah.
for the rest of the month?
So the vote was to utilize the ARPA funding, the $26K. We'll have to come back once we have the solution for the town hall.
Cause we got time.
Yeah.
We got time? April 30th.
April 30th.
We'll have the
I think we have to vote on it before April 30th.
Yeah, that vote was, the way that vote came out was that you were going to be using the 26,000 from the ARPA fund account to go towards the repairs for the septic at the park. It was discussed, town, but the actual vote that was brought up just then was specific to the park.
Yeah.
So you would have to have a second vote, because you basically in that vote said all 26,000 is going to the park, and so
Well,
you've gotta,
so the vote was up to 26,000. I won't utilize, if I use $1,000 of it, I've got 25.
but you have to designate the money by the 30th,
That is correct.
all the funds.
So once we determine how we're going to move forward with the town hall and the two other businesses, we'll have to do a special session for that.
Special session.
And I've already reached out to one of the bidders, and then we can talk to them on next week to determine how to move forward with this.
Well, you could say at a minimum, we could just say it's going to be for a town system,
Yes,
one way or another.
one way or another.
That would need to be a second vote, which you could hold today, because all you did was vote on ARPA funding designation. That is a designation, it would just be a second vote.
Unless you wanna just get it all
Correct.
ironed out before we vote on it.
So could I do a vote? No, I'll do a special session. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna just use, we appropriately did the voting for the park repairs, and we can't go past that 26. It's very minimal. I'll get the exact, but we'll have to do a special session for this. Okay.
Because, you already got one price on the park repair? It's,
Yeah, I'll have to get two more quotes.
Well, that's us as far as our, the notification that we give them.
No, that's what I'm saying. If all we notify them of is our vote for the park, that park is not going to use up $26,000 in septic. If it does, then we need to evaluate who we're
Well,
using.
we're saying we would have to have a special session.
You
before
have to
we
have a
vote
special
on it.
session.
We're not gonna
If
vote
you
on that right
choose not to have a second motion vote today on the town septic, because all you have to say is that we are going to be designating funds to be used for town septic and for park. You don't have to say how much, you don't have to, all they're wanting to know is that we have a plan, you know?
Can we go ahead and do that?
So that was my question is, I know what my ARPA funding is. Can I use, or can I establish all that funding for septic repair and vote on that? And the max is the balance of that ARPA funding, which is 26.5.
And just use it in different places. So,
Yes, overall septic repair. We
Well,
have,
the rest of it won't be repaired though.
No, and just to back up, the original vote was specific to the park. That's what Seth, I'm just saying, the original vote that just took place was the park only. So there is another topic, which is the town septic, that has to be voted on separately. Or this group is basically saying, all we voted on today is the park, and that's all I can put in ARPA.
so we are just trying to prevent the special session.
yeah, because basically, we've been notified that we can utilize that funding for septic repair. We don't have a plan to physically outline the repairs for this town hall. There's a couple of questions. Once those questions are determined, I would do a special session to say, hey, I've already determined how we're gonna do this, can we use the ARPA funding? So to avoid doing a special session, can I say, hey, all the ARPA funding is for septic repairs?
I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I guess we'd have to clarify what was just voted on.
What we clarified on was there are two repairs. The repairs in the park are it's well known what it is. It's already been established. It doesn't affect other parts of the town. The repair for the septic in this town is contingent on two other businesses because we're currently sharing a septic system for 3 buildings.
And it won't be a repair, it'll be a replacement, because there's no repair that can fix it.
Right. They should be two separate votes,
Yeah,
a
so I
repair and a
think if it's
replacement.
yeah, if there's a distinction between repair and replacement, there should be.
Okay.
And one's for the park and one's for the town.
All right, so we've established it for the park, so we're good to go.
If y'all are not going to vote tonight,
Well,
that
we'll
you are
have a
going to
special
use the rest of it, you're gonna do a special
special
session and you're good.
Next is vote on the LMIG funding. So we have the LMIG funds, and I cannot remember. We said
4,000, we have to match 30% to get to that 4,000.
but we're not in a position to vote because we don't have a plan of how we could utilize that fund.
Right, it has to be used for some streets, roads, something of that
Can you
nature.
just let the citizens know what the LMIG funding is and what we could possibly utilize that for, just so for
Sure.
gratification?
LBIG funding actually comes from local maintenance, basically GDOT grant, and they give it out every year. We did lose money in '23. We're at risk of losing money in '24 if we don't designate it before June 15th. Their formula gives us $3,110. We have to match 30% of that to take our total to $4,043.98. They did tell us there could be a potential that we could get back 23 money if we resubmit. There's no guarantee of that. But the project has to be related to things like roads, engineering about roads, utility, drainage, grading, paving, patching, turn lanes, anything, sidewalks, things that are related to the roads within the town.
Okay, awesome. Any questions? Okay. Next is C, vote on purchase of laptops for the council and the town clerk. We had talked about this, I think it was last month, and we had one of our council members go out and get 3 different quotes. We determined that the best price for economic purposes and balancing our budget, that we are going to procure 6 laptops with the option of another laptop. This is the whole conceptual plan that I've had since I've been on the council and since being the mayor pro temp and now the mayor, to legitimize what we do as a town, and we're doing it in all facets, but this is just one more. I've talked about it before. When we're communicating for our council members and stuff, to appropriately, we have to use our town designated emails, so the laptops will facilitate it. Another thing, going back to our new job posting for our town clerk, our town clerk position is going to be a hybrid role. So this allows that the town clerk to be able to work from home and then bring the laptop and conduct business here. Okay. So I'm sorry. Where's the Caleb? Can you tell me that cost again?
After,
I got it.
after taxes, like it's probably about $38.70.
Yeah. So I'm gonna round this up to $4,000.
That was a tax exempt quote, right? It has to be tax exempt.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Yeah.
We need to ask them if they can get us a tax exempt. Sorry.
They will. If you just go back to them, you can get with Christy and give them our tax exempt number, and because it's for government. So. But I'm going to do it since it's 39 or it's 35.95. I'm going to ask the council for 4K. Right. So do I have a motion to procure laptops for the council at a value no more than $4,000?
Make a motion to purchase laptops for the council clerk for no more than $4,000.
Do I have a second? All in favor? All right, unanimous. Okay. Yeah, if you could just take a note with that, Caleb, please do not forget that, because we got to get that ordered as soon as possible. Okay, next is vote on the Town of Talking Rock t-shirts. It's not that, but what I also want to do is continue with the legitimizing what we're doing as a town. I would like to get golf shirts or appropriate apparel for the council members as we conduct businesses and as we're a part of the community. Christy looked in for golf shirts, and we came up with a variance of $90 as a max, and then minimal was what, Christy? I'm sorry, $10, $26. And that's just, it's not for everybody. We're talking 6-7 people. We'll probably order 10 of them, but just want to do more appropriate things how we do it. We're conducting business and things like that. I do meetings with the county, and I've been in there with Jasper and Chris Stansel, and I think I'm wearing appropriate clothes, but I'd like to identify and show that I'm a part of the town of Talking Rock. So that's the whole purpose of that. Any questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to purchase Town of Talking Rock apparel with a max value of each being $90 and the minimal $25?
Make a motion to purchase T-shirts for max value of $90, minimum $25.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All in favor? Okay.
Just to back up, I thought on the laptops we were gonna go ahead and try to get 7.
Yeah, that's what it
Because there's
says.
5 in here with this price.
That's what it says. Is that right, Kim? Thanks, Tony, for looking at that. So it's $719 per laptop
Yes.
times 7. That's 5,033. Of a difference of $1,033. So that was for 5 laptops right there.
I think that was the original quantity
Okay.
from this email.
So how do I correct that? So I need 7 laptops at $719 a piece.
I guess
Vote the difference.
Two additional.
Vote on 2 additions. Okay. So let me get that. Okay. So the difference is going to be 1,033. All right, let's finish. We're good. It was all votes for the T-shirts. Everybody unanimous. Okay. All right. Any questions on that one? So, do I have a motion to procure an additional $1,033 for laptops, which would equate to 7 laptops at approximately $719?
Make a motion that we purchase 2 more laptops at $1,033.
$1,033. You have a second? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. All right, thanks. Good catch here. Okay. Awesome. All right. So last on the agenda, as you can see, we have the vote on the building permit fees. I had talked about this in the last couple months, and what we've established inspection fees in our social media and on our webpage. But I asked Christy to go back and try to be as compliant as we could to within the Pickens counties with Jasper and Nelson, and we established that in our working group. And in our working group, I'll let Christy talk about it in a second, but we established what we want to see in our fees. And after I asked a motion for this, and if it successfully is voted on, we will update all our inspection fees on our website, and then we'll post it here in the town, right? Is there any place else that we do that? Okay, all right. Any questions on that? Christy, you just want to give like a 30-second summary of what we did?
Sure. The biggest goal of why we want to do this and update this document is our current fees that we are taking in for new builds is not covering expenses we have going out the door. We pay a third party to conduct inspections, and today we do not have enough coming in to cover those. We want to make sure that we are not going to be paying for that out of pocket. So we're going to align ours with the town, but also, with the county, but also making sure that we can pay the bills at the end of the day.
Awesome. Any questions? Okay. So do we have a motion to accept all the changes on our Town of Talking Rock building permit fees?
I make a motion that we make all the changes to the Town of Talking Rock building permit fees.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, so again, we'll update that permit fees, and it'll be within the next couple of days. Mary will have to get that updated on our webpage, but then once that is updated, we'll make a note that it's official for that. Once that's posted, that will be it. If there's any questions, you can reach out to myself and the town clerk, right? And our emails are on the website. So any questions? I really appreciate all the efforts for that. This is really aligning what we're doing now with our building inspecting. Again, everybody's aware of a lot of the homes that are starting to establish here with our new subdivision, and then our current throughout our town. We have several buildings that are being built, so we just wanted to get that squared away, and I think that's going to be very beneficial. I wanted to thank Christy personally because she's really identified some of the things that we weren't charging, and we're spending excess amount of money for our town for inspections that we haven't had, and now this is going to level set that, and I think we'll see some improvements here in the future. Okay, that's all I have for our new business. As you can see, our next council meeting is going to be Thursday, 6 June. Because of our changes of getting a new town clerk and stuff like that, I think it's important that we continue doing month to month at this time. We will assess that later on if we decide to go bi-monthly. But next meeting is Thursday, 6 June. Working session will be at 5:30. Any questions or comments?
That's not one.
That is
It needs to be May.
Oh, it's May. Oh, Jesus Christ. I apologize. Yes, it is May. Why did I put that?
It'll be May 2nd.
That's not Christy's fault. That is my fault. I don't know why I was thinking the day was May. Yes.
May
Yeah.
2nd.
May 2nd. Say it again. May 2nd. Thank you for correcting me again.
So when do we have to have the special session by for the ARPA funds?
So that it can actually be put into the system, we need to give at least a day for that. And so I would say, it would be preferably a couple of days before the 30th
Of this month.
of this month.
month.
The sooner, the better, because I'd like to help you guys with that and get that done. I'd hate to throw that on somebody's lap, so.
Yeah, it would have to be before the 30th. I will talk to Seth on how I can do that afterwards for the special session. Let everybody know.
So I guess my question on that is, you can designate the funds. You can say in a vote today, we want to designate for the town system and we want to designate for the park. And we can do all the research and the quotes after. I don't have to have that until December 31st of this year. I just have to be able to go in and answer to ARPA that we plan on using the funds for septic. But because there was not a vote for town today, I would just say you have a budget item for repairs and maintenance, you have a ARPA funding, and you have a motion on the table. It was what was discussed in the work session. I feel like we just kind of walked past it.
She's right. So you understand that I don't have to give you an exact dollar figure now. I've got to give you a justification of what I'm using the funding for.
Exactly.
I know what my cap is. My cap is $26,500. So I'm not going to go in and go, hey, it's $100,000 or whatnot. I'm asking the council to allow us to use the ARPA funding, which is the $26,500, before this date, because we have to establish what that's going to be used for. And what we've determined that we could possibly use that for is septic repair, service replacement, whatever, but it's septic issues in general.
But the vote was specific to the park. And so we need to have that clarified, or you do have to have a special session. But the vote was specific to the park. The motion was the park.
Before, can't we just
Vote on.
modify that vote now and say it's for the,
Well, I
Town
would personally say it makes most sense to have a second motion with a second vote on a second topic. And the second topic is the town septic. So your first one was park, your second one, then, and I'm not a lawyer, but
As long as it's encompassing everything, another vote should be fine.
yeah, you're doing a vote on a,
Is it a second or a new motion?
I would say it's just completely new, because the first one is just designated to the park. Just make sure this one encompasses everything that's gonna need to be repaired.
so do you
And
strike
or
that
fixed.
from the minutes then, the first vote? Do you strike, I didn't know you strike things from minutes. I thought we had to capture it as a vote.
Yeah, just do a second vote to encompass anything else
Okay.
that you're going to.
The remainder of the funds going to a town system. Not specific,
Just so.
because we gotta do
Yeah,
the
you
park
know, you have
first.
two votes.
The park
but
was
We
the
gotta do
first
park
step,
first,
yes.
so the remainder of those ARPA funds can go toward the town system.
So that would be the motion.
And then that would just
And is
supersede
it a
that.
second
It would
or?
supersede the previous one.
That's
I'm
what I'm
not asking a motion for the remaining funds for the town system.
The latter.
Alright. Okay, so what we could do, just to make sure we're tracking, is that we can, I can ask for a motion for the remaining funds, to be used towards, the town system, septic system for the town. Correct?
Yeah, because I mean, essentially that's what you would be doing at the special session.
Does that make sense? And then it avoids a special session. Okay, alright. So do I have a motion to use the remaining funds of ARPA to go towards a town septic system?
I'll make a motion that we use the remaining ARPA funds towards a town septic system.
Glad you did.
Second.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Okay, unanimous. Yes, I'm glad you did.
yeah, we don't have to have a special session.
Okay,
And we can get it
awesome.
Well, and I can do ARPA now.
We can get it in on time.
Yeah.
I appreciate for that clarification. Okay, that's all I have for this. Any open questions, comments from anybody? Okay. Again, like I said, next meeting is the 2nd of May at 5:30. That'll be the working group. 7:30 will be the town council meeting. Okay, do I have a motion to conclude tonight's council meeting?
Make a motion to conclude tonight's council meeting.
Do I have a second? All in favor?